Hi, I'm Belinda Fenty.
And I'm Pauline Nakirya.
Welcome to Let's React podcast, the podcast that amplifies the voices of artists from underrepresented backgrounds in the UK and beyond.
Yeah, we'll share our experiences, the highs, the lows, and everything in between. From addressing underrepresentation
to celebrating diverse, rich stories.
Join us on this journey as we react to the world around us and inspire change in the industry.
Hello, and welcome back to
Let's React podcast. Hey everyone, Pauline here with the beautiful
Belinda Fenty.
Hey, yes, we had a little break last week, and Belinda's back now to just dive back in.
Absolutely. Pauline held the fort beautifully.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I have to admit though, like it was weird doing it without you.
Good. I'm glad. I don't want to be redundant.
I was like, yeah, and I'd say something and I'd expect like a response. I'm like, wait, no. Yeah, so it was good. It was also good to make me just go like, I realized how much I talk a lot. I mumble when I don't have you with me because I just end up saying random things and then like, oh no, no, okay. Anyway, so yeah, so this is what.
I was going to say you can talk for England anyway. So should be a walk in the park.
But no, I'm glad you're back, Belinda. I'm glad. And yeah, just so everyone knows how we are, how is your artist and how are you?
My artist is feeling good. She's warmed up into 2025. She's curious. She's seeing what is calling her next and what she can do to grow. And I think my answer is trying less. And
Mm.
what I mean by that is it's not about not working hard or not being. It's more about noticing when I'm doing way more than I need to. So I even mean that vocally. And
Mm.
in fact, that's the area that's highlighted it to me. Sometimes I get a lot of tension around my throat. So I recently had a session with Claire Davidson, who's an eminent voice coach, wonderful, beautiful woman. And we spoke about this and how actually sometimes if I can just sit back and not push,
Yeah.
and just in normal conversation and keep some awareness on that it helps. And it's something within acting as well. If I'm doing an accent, I've noticed that sometimes I can see myself trying hard to get the accent right when I already know the accent. But I guess it's not having the trust or, yeah, because it brings the energy up to here instead of here to my core. So ultimately, I'm fostering knowing that I don't need to work so hard and relaxing into that knowledge. Yeah, how's your art?
Oh, that's so profound, Belinda. Love it. For me, I guess because obviously with my leg and how it's been and just the few setbacks in that, knowing it's not fully healed yet, so I can't really do as much physically as I thought I could. But then realizing as well, like you said, taking a minute to it's allowed me to take a minute to think, okay, what is serving me, what isn't, and then just going with that. So, like, I'm thinking more about how I plan my day, how I do stuff and what I want to do. And I'm trying to learn to prioritize those things more than anything. But yeah, I guess that's, yeah, kind of me in a physical sense. But artist wise, I think I'm realizing more, I'm figuring out the little things that I want to do more of. And I know we've talked about it briefly, but I used to do a lot of writing and I have stacks and stacks of books that I was thinking about the other day. And I just started looking at them and reading them. And I was like, yo, damn, that was good. Like, that sounds good. That's amazing. So I feel like maybe part of that slowing down is maybe focusing on, yeah, the art that makes me happy and the art that I miss. So yeah.
Oh, whilst we're on that, I think
Yeah.
it's good to speak things into existence. So
Mm.
I'll ask you first. What do you want your artist career to look like
Hmm.
deeply?
Deeply. I guess I would like for it to come back to it being about being a release for me. So I want it to be about me doing stuff that I enjoy doing because I enjoy doing it. Because I feel like the last couple of years, in fact, I felt like I've been doing it for other people, creating art, making art, doing art, especially. And very few times did it feel like I was doing it to serve me in a sense, because obviously, as artists, we make stuff, we do stuff for ourselves, but it's also to show something that we're feeling, how we're wanting someone to see, or even for us to understand what we're going through. But I feel like last year I lost that mostly. And now this year, and where I see my artist moving on from that, is starting to focus on the art that makes me feel happy. And it's art for me. I'm not doing it for somebody else. I'm doing it for me. Yeah, I guess wanting that control back.
Yeah,
That's where I'm starting to push my artist to go. It's, yeah, getting the control back
I
and
think
make,
that's important to not leave yourself out of the equation for sure.
yeah,
That's very healthy. If we're only doing things for other people,
yeah.
that sounds like a recipe for burnout.
Yeah, and also sadly, a lot of artists end up losing their or taking their own lives because of,
Yeah.
I guess, when I've seen a few documentaries I've been watching, and I felt like they lost that part of themselves where it was for them that they were making it, and so it's finding a way to adjust to that. Being recognized for that work, and how do you adjust where you don't lose yourself? So that's what I guess that's where I'm coming from in a way.
Yeah.
How about you? Yeah.
No, what was my question? No, I got it. I got it. So I want for my career to reflect me as an artist. So I am a strong actor. I want to be telling important stories. I want to be using my emotional range and my presence and my listening and my empathy to tell lots of complex stories and to portray many nuanced characters. And I feel like I can reach people if I'm just given the opportunity. And I mean, people can connect to me. I can tell their stories. I can help them feel seen. Like I feel I am a vessel. One of my gifts is sensitivity and understanding, and acting is an amazing way for me to be able to give that gift. Writing is too, and that is something that I'm working on, but I've worked on acting a lot more and I feel a lot more skillful in it, and I would love to be able to actually use my skills in the full way in which they can be used. It's all very good doing commercials like I have done, but I want deeper. So I'm just putting that out there and hoping these roles that you and I describe as juicy come my way. It's about, yeah, so I can share it.
Yeah.
Share it.
Oh, do you know what? That's very deep, Belinda. Like in sense that it also shows that how much, as artists, we see and do things in ways that it means so much to us, and how it helps us connect, like, talk about connection and how it connects us to other people and other feelings and other beings. You know what I mean? Like, so,
Yeah,
and
totally.
yeah. And I know I talked about obviously how to deal with when you're recognized for it, for your art and for your creativity, and how you've said it just beautifully leads us into a segue to
Yeah.
the first quarter of the year is always about award ceremonies and all these things. And I know obviously it's a bit iffy with awards and how they get on and what's behind them and all that stuff. Doing this episode is about also starting to just focus on celebrating, especially up and coming creatives, or they might not even be up and coming, they might be already established, but they're now being finally recognized for the work that they are doing and have been doing for years. And so I feel like award ceremonies help influence the industry trends, help shape career trajectories for a lot of artists. And
Totally.
yeah, so yeah, this is what this episode is about. We're looking at some of the awards that have happened, and also what obviously leading up to the Oscars, because the Oscars. I will try not to get into the controversies of a lot of these awards. But I think it's just amazing to see some of the stuff that's been doing well has been really cool stuff, and definitely it's a good.
Absolutely. And yeah, I'm with you. I think celebrating is always a good thing.
Mm.
I wish we could give endless awards to people throughout the world for the amazing work that they do, like in everything, but like within even within acting, because as I mentioned in some previous episodes, some of my favorite films last year were not British or American. And yeah, and I would love to see more people celebrated, but it's great to celebrate some. So yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, I suppose it's also because people recognizing foreign film or foreign cinema or screen, whether it's TV as well, is just or short films. It's just nice to start seeing those even more. And I think that even though we have the award season, and we'll talk about it in another episode, is the festival season and what that means too, and what that brings to us in terms of culture, in terms of artist experiences. So that has, I feel like festivals as well have become such an amazing place to be to
Yeah,
celebrate all of the
totally.
talent that we don't get to normally see. Uh,
Yeah, it's so good. I'm so glad that they exist
yeah,
because even with our film, I Am Light, we had incredible experiences taking that around festivals
yeah.
and meeting fellow filmmakers and celebrating all the hard work and passion that goes into making these films.
So yeah, we will do a festival season episode. So yeah, so this year's awards, starting off with the Golden Globes, I didn't watch the show, but I watched highlights of it. And some of the films I have seen, some of the shows I have seen. I'm sure it's the same with Belinda. And some of the people we might not know about, some of the people we might have seen in other stuff. But with the Golden Globes, because I guess the Golden Globes is usually about, it's a mix of television and TV, isn't it? For me, I feel like the Golden Globes sets the tone and the pace for award season because everyone's like, boom, it's like what's been happening. So I feel like for them, they have a pressure, this kind of added pressure to make, and this year it was hosted by a stand-up comedian. I have not really, experienced her work, and her name is Nikki Glazer. And in terms of history making, she's the first solo female host at the Golden Globes in history. Can you imagine? Right? Talk about representation. But it just makes me think though, how long have the Golden Globes been around? Because yeah, no, I think about it. It was like Amy Poehler and Tina Fey when they hosted together. There's always been duos, but as a solo
Yeah,
female,
it's okay.
yeah,
That's enough now in 2025. Woo! We got
yeah, we got there. But in terms of major wins, obviously, there's amazing nominations. But in terms of winners, I think one of the big films was Emilia Pérez, and it's a non-English language film, and I think it's still in cinemas. And I know that Zoe Saldana was on Graham Norton. By the way, I usually go to Graham Norton to find out what's hot. Because in terms of, yeah, like as a TV show, a lot of the people who go on his show are like, it's film, it's theater, it's TV, it's books, it's music. So he covers all the genres and yeah,
to watch them as a kid. I loved it.
yeah,
Yeah, there's only so much time one has, so I don't watch it anymore. But
yeah,
like,
yeah.
he's a great host.
He's a great host, and it's nice when you see the actors are so comfortable with him when they're talking about their experiences, and it's more conversational as well. So it's not like they're sat in a hotel room waiting for someone next to come and then talk to them about the film, and then they're repeating the same stuff. I think that the way Graham Norton has done it for years and continues to do it is where it's more like we're on a couch. Let's have a conversation.
Like, welcome to my little
Mhm.
gather dinner party. Yeah, let's have a
Yeah,
chat.
here your drinks. Here's a round of drinks. So I like that. And I guess it's because it also helps guests on the show to be much more relaxed in a way. I don't know obviously how relaxed they are because if they're not used to public speaking, but I feel like they seem to open up a bit more when they're on the show. But yeah, no, so that's how I found out about Emilia Perez.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
great.
it was through Zoe Saldana because she was on the show and she was talking about it, and it
I
was
love
interesting. Yeah, yeah, she's amazing. Obviously, her and Dandiwe Newton have talked about how they both get confused.
it.
I thought it was a joke until actually a close friend of mine did confuse them. And I was like, girl, those people are two different people. But yeah, so she talked about this show and the story that it presented. One thing I didn't realize about this film was that apparently it's a musical.
Musical. I tried to watch it, but I didn't realize it was a musical,
Mm.
and I was in that zone. It would have been amazing to see at the cinema, and maybe I'll find it somewhere. But yeah, I was taken aback when I realized it was a musical, and I thought, okay, I need to save this for another time when I'm in a musical mode.
Yeah, no, because like honestly, when you don't realize it, something because the way it's been promoted, I guess the focus has been on the story more than anything. Carla Sofia Gaston, I believe, is the
Mhm.
actress in it, but became has made history as in terms of transgender actors, which is also not something that people talk about. But yeah, I didn't realize it was a musical until someone was like, "Oh, musical or comedy?" Because by the way, they always put musical and comedy together.
Don't they?
Yeah.
Good point. Weird. Yeah.
Like, just separate them. Just because it's a musical doesn't mean it's comedy, and comedy is different, different genres. But yeah, no, I think that it's also important as an international film to be recognized. And I think it also had Selena Gomez in it, so they were speaking a lot of Spanish in it. And so yeah, it's
One to
nice
watch.
when yeah, it's one to watch, definitely. And then we have I don't know if you've seen it, I Am Still Here. It's a Brazilian film.
No, I've heard of it too, but I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I haven't either, but it was also like a first win for a Brazilian actress for Best Actress in a drama. And I guess it's realizing how much, like you said, about the influence of foreign
Yeah.
foreign cinema. What is foreign to Hollywood? And I think she's quite big in Brazil, but obviously now getting that, when it's about getting that recognition for the work that you're doing, I think that's pretty amazing.
Think the amazing thing about people being recognized from from spaces and places that we don't normally see, whether that's different identities finally being recognized as being excellent is fantastic because I think it means that other directors, filmmakers, casting directors will more comfortably, studios, producers will take those risks, what are perceived as risks, to invite more diverse people to come and audition and to give them leading roles and juicy roles in their productions because they're like, okay, the world is ready. If that person can win this, then okay, yeah, let me open up my mind. And very quickly on this point, I watched Notting Hill recently for a screenwriting class. And what struck me, because I think that was filmed or released around 1999, what struck me was if you watched that, you would believe that London was full of only white people. London.
Mm.
So I can already see how much the casting climate has changed, and things like these awards that you're talking about will hopefully make it even more representative of our world.
Yeah. And it's also trying to cover the facts about representation and the stereotypes of which we understand or recognize, say, where these cultures, where these people are from. Yeah, how the West sees them, especially in film,
Yeah,
like with Brazil, oh, carnival, yay.
exactly.
Or with Mexico, South America, drugs, or all these stereotypes. I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm just saying that we want to see different narratives now.
We do. You're completely
Yeah.
right. Yeah, same with the Middle East. We're sick of seeing terrorists,
Mm.
angry people. It's like, no. And that's why my favorite cake set in Iran was
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Doing you describe.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's why, like, even TV shows like Shogun, which is a Japanese, Japan set drama, and it's loosely based on real life events, but they made, East Asian history, and the actor Hiroyuki Sanada, you would recognize his face in a lot of stuff. Them winning that as a show, I've seen it, and it was so good. It's on Disney at the moment, or FX, or wherever if you're in America, but it's interesting to see how much of also the culture is included in that. Like one thing that you do worry is that, oh my God, is it gonna what how much influence of the West is gonna be in it? But I was so glad to see the actors being recognized because they were amazing performances and getting to speak Japanese, and the British actor in it who it's basically how the British are traveling to Asia. The British want to get a route separate from the Portuguese because there was that race in Europe about who gets to where and who can trade with who. And there's this British actor who just basically, not the British actor, the character who has to learn to speak Japanese, you know, and realizing how different of a culture his is to the Japanese culture. What he is, it's taboo, is not taboo for them. But yeah, so that was really cool to see Shogun. I was sad though that he didn't get recognized much at the BAFTAs. Maybe I missed something. But like because obviously at the BAFTAs, I think the biggest thing for me was the Rising Star Award to David Jonsson. He was yeah. He was the one. He's in Rye Lane. He's also been in Industry on BBC,
Yeah.
and yeah, now he's in Alien Romulus on Disney. But yeah, it was nice. It was so bless him. It was so cute.
So nice. Because Rye Lane was
Mm.
something different, making waves, and now, yeah, great, he's being recognized.
Yeah. And former winners include Daniel Kaluuya, Letitia Wright. It's, you know, you just start to think like, although now I'm thinking, is it a lot of black people who are getting this EE?
Rise, rise.
Because even what's the name who was in Top Boy won last year, right? So, questions, questions, questions. But no, let's not focus on that. Anyway, we're just happy. But then we also think about Wicked and Cynthia Erivo as Elphaba and the controversy around that.
In publicity and how they were using Ariana's face sometimes and not, yeah, I know.
Yeah, and yet I think people forget that's the whole point of Wicked.
Yeah.
Yeah, people doing exactly.
She got the mic braids.
Yeah,
Bad. Yeah.
and the nails too.
Nails.
Yeah, but no, it's yeah, people recognizing that actually the whole point of Wicked is people being treated a certain way because of what they look like, who they are, where they're from, and then you do exactly that to the actress who plays the role.
It shows the necessity of films like that. I mean,
Mm,
I know the story, but you know what I mean.
yeah.
Shows these stories still need to be told because it's still happening.
Exactly. And also it's also interesting to see interviews with John M. Chu, the director for it. It was nice to see how diverse the cast was. And I can't wait for part two. When I watched part one, I didn't realize they'd split up in two. And I was like, yo, wait, hang on. This
It's like 3 hours or yeah, exactly.
and I was like, oh yo, we're only halfway there.
As in, they know it's a money-making franchise, like they can, so let's milk it.
Yeah, that's true. Although it just made me think of how back in the day, films were like so long, like 4, 6 hours, like Ben-Hur. When you think about it, some of the film, yeah, they were really long because we're still learning how to edit things down and narrow down the story.
Felt like films used to be more, you'd more often see the 90-minute film, and these days so many films are long. Too long for my attention span, but yeah, okay. Ben-Hur.
But I suppose back in the day, people going for the experience of it. Oh my God, I'm in a cinema. The picture is moving. But it's nice to see like Cynthia Erivo. She's done so well for herself as a British actor, just getting out there to Hollywood and just doing her thing. So yeah, no, like kudos to her. Like I love it. I'm so proud of her, you know.
An incredible talent, amazing singer.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then obviously, because we're going to talk about women behind the scenes, behind the camera, Coralie Farajit won The Substance, which Adrian Brody won Best Actor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've seen,
yeah.
but it's controversial, but I absolutely loved it. But I have friends who are like, it was way too gory, it's unnecessary. But I would argue that the gore was completely necessary
Okay.
because it reflected society and the preoccupation with staying young, staying beautiful. Let's chop ourselves up. Let's with aesthetics, like particularly for women. And so I felt like it needed to be that gory and horrific, and I thought it was superb. So I'm so glad that she directed it, and
Yeah.
she was there to show from a woman's perspective as well how disgusting society can be.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mhm. Nice. Oh, can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see it. I guess it was a lot. It was a lot happening in terms of that, but we're seeing like foreign cinema, film, TV is actually starting to hopefully have an impact on the West, especially Hollywood, with this with big award ceremonies going on. And just real quick in terms of music, Beyoncé with her Cowboy Carter album of the year win, being the first Black woman since 1999 when Lauryn Hill won it. Yeah, back in 1999. And then yeah, Beyonce. And the thing is as well, like Beyonce's always evolving as an artist, I've realize. And people always like, oh, why is she doing this now? Why is she doing pop? Why is she doing
Want to box her.
yeah, but why? You know?
We want her to do. Like, no, she's having fun. She's exploring. She's curious. She's creative. And I love that.
Yeah, definitely.
Saying about doing things for you
Hmm.
as well, not just doing things for others because they want you to release another R&B genre or whatever. Like, but actually, yeah, you're feeling electronic dance music. Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Smash it as well.
Yeah, so like genuinely I was like I'm not mad. Again, it's you have different tastes. If you enjoy it, you enjoy it. If you don't, that's okay, you know. But let the artists create, let them do stuff that they want to create. And her documentary, because she did like a documentary, like a 12-minute little short for Netflix that's about Cowboy Carter, and she gets some black cowboy singers involved to sing, and and other country singers. It's nice. It's great to see her like embody this empowerment. She's embracing herself and who she is as a creator of this amazing art, and she's exploring all aspects of it. And definitely, she shouldn't be held in a box.
Absolutely. Amen.
No, but yeah, no, so it's been an amazing season, and I'm really excited for what is to come, and I hope it will make a difference because it's really hard to tell what would happen because sometimes it feels like award ceremonies are just following with a trend rather than actually creating an impact on that. So I hope it will build on that.
Yeah, me too.
And for us as well as ourselves, and recognizing, like, even like you said, for me, just make art for you, so it doesn't matter what it is as long as it makes you happy.
Exactly. If it's not making you happy. Bye.
Bing. But yeah, so that was our wonderful episode, and thank you for tuning in. And yeah, we'd love to hear your comments as always on what you're watching, what you're listening, what you're feeling, how you're seeing things, and the differences that it's making for you, and who you feel like should have been recognized too.
Absolutely. And don't forget to check us out on TikTok and Instagram.
If anyone can't watch this, Belinda's doing like a hand going, oh, oh, oh,
Side movement too. Can you not see the waist movement?
Actually, I just see the boobs going like this.
Well, what can I say?
Oh, there we go again. Pauline being inappropriate. But yes, so it's been fantastic. And thank you so much. And we'll see you soon.
Hey, listeners. Mwah.